Get downloading the One Football app. It is free. The link is in the description for that. All the latest news, your transfers, your gossip, stats with Newcastle United. Every football fan needs it.
Welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. I'm here with the AFTV regular, and he's got his own channel as well, DT. I'm sure everybody knows who he is. DT, very, very comfortable performance for Arsenal, 2-0 win. I don't think you could have asked for a much easier performance at home.
That was the perfect game to have after the long break we've all been on. I said it to you off camera, if I was you lot going back to Newcastle and you travelled down here on a Monday night, I'd be asking the club to give my money back. Not that you're going to get it off Mike Ashley, because he don't spend nothing, but I don't know what happened to you. I thought, watching the game and the way it was panning out towards the second half, I thought, right, Newcastle's game plan it's right. They're going to come out in the last 15-20 minutes. It's 1-0. They've got to have a go. They've got to go and try and equalise. But I was watching it and I was thinking, has someone not told them that it's 1-0? Do they think it's 0-0 and they're going to play for a draw? Why did they not come out and try and attack? Leno may as well have just gone off.
He had one shot to deal with Solomon Rondon in the first half, but second half we were crying out for a bit more, I don't know, creativity. Rondon looks so very icy against Socrates, but from Arsenal's point of view, you'd be thinking, well, we had so much possession of the football with Guendouzi and Ramsey in particular, who got the first goal, very comfortable finish. You must be thinking in the second half, going, just get one more and kill it off, and you did. Yeah,
and that's the way it ended up being. And once we got the second goal, that's when it looked like we could score 3 or 4. I know we had 2 goals disallowed, and I'm hearing, I haven't watched them yet, that they were 2 goals that shouldn't have been disallowed, but I honestly don't get your game plan today. I really don't. I rate Rafa Benitez. I think he's a quality manager, and you're very lucky to have him, given the owner you have. But I just don't get his tactics. I don't know whether it was damage limitation. Whether
do you think it was ultra defensive, or do you think? I'm not going to say. What do you think? Emery would have done anything different if he was Newcastle manager, for example?
We would have had a go.
Definitely.
You know, I've seen teams like Fulham, Cardiff. They've had a go. I just don't get it. It was 1-0. I don't know whether they're. You know, Newcastle are not a point off the relegation zone. You're not looking at it and going, damage limitation, let's not get beat 4 or 5 because of goal difference. You're relatively comfortable, and I just don't know why you didn't go for it. Even when it went 2-0, you just still sat there and said, all right, well, it was like you just didn't want to be there. Let's go home. We know we're not going to get nothing from this game. We're looking at the games that we feel that we can get something from at St James's Park. But I feel that's a disservice to the fans, and I'm a fan. And what I don't like seeing is when it looks like players are not trying. One of my biggest arguments here is when players don't look like they're putting 110% in.
Who do you think didn't put 110% in? Because it'd be quite interesting from an Arsenal fan perspective.
I don't think the whole team. I don't know whether it was the whole team or whether it was the tactics that they just were just rigid in staying where they were. I think the guy that played at centre-back for you, the big fella, number 6 was it?
Jamal Lascelles.
He looks quality. He really does look a big, powerful guy. But apart from that, even there was the lad that I see, is it Richie?
Yeah.
The most I saw him run was when he got substituted. And he's a player that I've seen, especially at St James's Park, where he looks like he causes problems.
He's got a cracking goal against Bournemouth.
But that's what I don't get it. I really don't. You know Newcastle better than me. You know, you watch them week in, week out, and I just don't get your tactics today. I really don't. It looks to me like you sat there and said, we're not going to win this game. Let's just go through the motions, get out of here, damage limitation, go home, and then let's go and look at the bigger games and the bigger picture where we can get something out of. That's the way it looked to me anyway.
Touching on Newcastle, you came to St James's Park earlier on in the season. Do you think you'll be at St James's Park next season? Yeah,
I was worried about you when we played at St James's Park, because you were going through a really difficult time, and you've still got problems with your owner, Mike Ashley, and I don't know why someone doesn't come in and buy Newcastle, because, you know, Newcastle is a city, bang on. I'm thinking more of a nightlife than anything else. We all know about Newcastle nightlife. That's a seriously good night out. And you know, you've got your fan base is huge, considering, you know, the trophy side of things you haven't got. But the fan base, you're there every single week. St James's Park is packed. So I don't get why an owner doesn't want to come and take it off Mike Ashley's hands. Maybe it's because he's asking for too much. It's being greedy, but then that's Mike Ashley. Maybe he should throw one of his Sports Direct mugs in or something, or I don't know. But I think that he will eventually go, and then we'll see what happens with Newcastle. But you don't sound too optimistic about it.
I think it's a $1 million question, isn't it? When we've been asking for like years, even since when we got relegated the Championship nearly 10 years ago now. I think that's been the $1 million question. But we'll go back on Arsenal and finish it off. And we've just spoken to Ty there, and he thinks it'll be Arsenal, Manchester United that'll finish in the top 4.
Yeah.
Do you think the same? Do you think Tottenham? Because Tottenham have decided from being a title race from the start of January, they've ended up almost being out of the top 4.
It's lovely.
It's typical Tottenham, isn't it?
It's brilliant. I feel like you lot did yesterday when you were watching Sunderland lose on penalties. It was the most amazing feeling, but it's going to be like a yo-yo, that top 4. We're going to go up and down. I know the Spurs are playing next. They're playing Wednesday, so they could go back above us, and then it puts the pressure on us at the weekend against Everton, which will be a tough game. I would love Arsenal and Man United to take the 3rd and 4th.
Why Man United over Tottenham and Chelsea?
Chelsea because no one likes Chelsea, and Spurs because it's Spurs, and I would love to see them in their new stadium in the Europa League on a Thursday night. Let's see you fill that stadium when you're playing on Thursdays. So interesting last 7 games. I think you lot are safe, and I'm looking forward to coming back to St James's Park next season.
So DT thinks that we're going to be playing in the Premier League next season, also going to be Champions League. Let's hope both of those things happen for both our sakes.
Definitely.
Like and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV, and we'll see you at the next video.